What's going on? What's going on, community? This is Carlos, a credit assassin. Hey, today I wanted to come to you and bring you as a quick class on how to purchase a vehicle with business credit. I mean, this is a question that we've seen is being asked a lot. So I wanted to make sure that at least I put something together for you guys to see. So every week we're gonna be doing this. We're gonna be bringing some of the topics that you guys have the most questions about, and I want to make sure that we put something together to at least give you a guideline or a blueprint for you to start following. Not only that, so you can help yourself as you're going through the process of creating this business. And if you just started a business, you know that it's very challenging to not only obtain credit, but also to be able, if you want to also get any vehicles on your business name. So at the end of the day, you need to start creating your business credit. And it's fairly easy, but you need consistency with it. There's going to be a lot of steps that you need to take from A to Z. I mean, we have the blueprints and the 360 Business Vantage. So I want to go ahead and show you and talk to you a little more about some of the steps that you will need to take going forward, in which 9 of them will give you at least a blueprint that you can start using today in order for you to, in this case, if you try to get a vehicle, a truck, a fleet of vehicles for your business, there's certain steps that you will need to take. Now, one of the main things that I want to make sure that I tell you from the get-go, if you just started your business or if you've been in business for months or years and you still have not set up what we call the compliance items for your company, make sure that you go to the bottom of this video and get your free business success kit. Now, you either work with us or don't work with us. At least what I want you to do is still find out what you qualify for and what compliance items you need right now or you are meeting right now in order for you to qualify for lending going forward. It's a great guideline that we all need to know and we all need to have. So let's talk about how do I purchase a business or a vehicle with my business credit. Now, it is challenges as we know, even when you're trying to buy a personal vehicle, sometimes it becomes very challenging for you to even qualify with your own personal credit. Now, in your personal credit, you know that there's certain things that you need to have that that allows you to not only be lendable and fundable. So that term lendable and fundable is the term that dictates if a bank will give you money. At the end of the day, that's what it is. But on the personal side, you know that you need to take care of your payments. You need to take care of your new credit. You need to take care of your utilization. How many inquiries do you have? Now, on the business side, not as much. As we were talking earlier, utilization is something that really doesn't affect you in the business side. But the ability to get new credit is based upon the credit that you have had. So, in other words, banks will want to see your resume as a business. And your resume is your business credit. Something that we preach and something that I tell all the clients is you need to have at least a combination of at least 10 new trade lines. And trade lines could be anything from a net 30, 60, 90 to a credit card to a small loan. Again, always create a small loan if you can. If you have some money laying around, always go to your bank and open what is a secure line of credit or a secure loan that is your money. The bank is lending it back to you. You don't have to use it, but you are creating business credit in this case. So that's one of the main things that we need to talk about. But the first thing that I want you to do if you're trying to buy a vehicle is to focus on your credit from the get-go. What we need to start doing is make sure that you're setting up everything that's possible to meet the compliance items. Now, if you started your business today, the goals for you is to one, establish your business. And the way that you establish your business is going to the Secretary of the State in your state and make sure that that business is either an LLC or a corporation. Remember, don't do a sole proprietorship because you are doing business as you. It is based on your personal credit, not on your business credit. Now, if you're trying to lay the foundation for a business, that is the first step. Now, right after that, you can do this. You go to irs.gov and create your own EIN. So EIN stands for Employee Identification Number, which is the equivalent of the Social Security number for people, for us. So I want you to know that these steps are free. You can just research it. Go Google. Go if you're in the state of Alabama, state of California, state of New York. Google how do I create a LLC, an S corp, a C corp, and you'll see. Instead of New York, it'll cost me no more than $155 to incorporate one of my companies, and I could do it and I could submit it. Now, obviously, you need to read, you need to make sure you fill out the proper documentation. And I do understand that sometimes government agencies are not the best ones to deal with. Trust me, I truly understand that. So, one of the main things is you get more flies with honey. Be nice to them, even though they're not nice to you. Be nice to them because they will walk you through the proper step. Because it has happened to me. I had submitted the paperwork and I didn't fill it out right, and it was returned to me. So it was a delay. And I get it. You may just want to save time, but if you're trying to save money and you're bootstrapping your business at the beginning, this is the proper way to do it. Just Google it. You'll find the state website and they give you detailed steps on how to fill it out, and you can submit it. You can save hundreds of dollars. Also, EIN is a free service. You don't have to pay anyone to get it for you. You can just go to irs.gov and get the EIN for your business. Now, you need to focus on the credit. And what you need to do is, like I said before, develop and complete all your steps to get your compliance items. And that is one, the EIN, your entity. Make sure that you get your business address. Even though if you start a business from home, one of the main things you need to do is get a business address. Get a virtual address for your business, not your home address. At the same time, you need to be able to get a business phone number. So there's a lot of VoIP systems out there. The one that we advise and we use is called phone.com. I will put a link in the bottom of this if you guys want to use it, but you are welcome to use any other one out there. But you need to make sure that you have a business line because the bank's algorithm has that system. It has a system in which they are able to tell if your business is either based from home or if it's a home address or a home online or cell phone line. So make sure that you get those things taken care of. Make sure that you also register your business in the 411 database. Now, at the end of the day, one of the first things you need to do in order to start creating that relationship with the bank is to have a business bank account. Business, so checking business bank account. Make sure that you open because this is the way that you are going to start developing some type of relationship with the bank. So that is when you focus on your credit, you start doing that. Once you do all these little things, what you could do is now start applying for certain net 30s, net 60s, net 90s. Those credit lines are going to start developing your credit. And if you have an okay credit and a great credit, you can also apply to certain banks for your business, but you will need to be the personal guarantor. You need to apply. You could apply for certain credit cards. So, for example, if you are anything related with military, you are part of Navy Federal. They have a great business credit card. If you have your business account through them, which is called the GoBiz. Another one that I advise everybody is for you guys to go through American Express. American Express is they'll work with you. If you've been a client of them in the past, I was even talking about that. I mean, I had a couple credit cards with them personally when I first started my business. I applied for the American Express, and they gave me an American Express Gold card and a Silver card and a Platinum card without even checking my credit score because I had a great relationship with them in the past. So they are willing to work with you. One thing that I'll tell you is do not mess that relationship because once you mess the relationship with American Express, you no longer can actually repair. All right, let's move on. Let me drink some water too. All right, so we're gonna start establishing a profitable business. At the end of the day, the banks wants to see that you have developed a stable and profitable business. A lender wants to see that you have financial stability in order for them to go ahead and lend you money, right? At the end of the day, you're trying to make sure you get money lended to you. For example, if you're a trucking company, you want to get a truck for a fleet. Some of these trucks are not cheap. Some of them go between 150 to $200,000. And again, it could be a lot cheaper than that, but you got to think the amount of money that bank is willing to lend you because, quote unquote, you are willing to pay that back. So you need to establish, bank accounts. That's something that you need to do. Start separating your personal from your business. If it's a business expense, make sure that it's routed through your business. Make sure that that bank account reflects everything that you do within the business and all the income that comes into the business. So if you get paid by contracts, make sure that if they can actually send it through your bank account, it's best, because the more that you show that you bring it into the business or cash flow, the more that you're going to be able to get qualified for, because the bank will see that as cash that is able to now sustain that loan that you're trying to get. Now, at the same time, once you do all of these things, one of the main things you need to keep in mind is you need to be on top of your credit report. You need to be responsible. This is what I call responsibility of business credit. You need to check your business credit. Why? Because in the business credit, unlike the personal side, in the personal side, you even get more than what you ask for. You even get sometimes accounts that they're not even yours. Sometimes they even over submits information that don't even apply to you. Now, on the business side is completely different. If you're not on top of this account, sometimes they don't even report. And thus, will still hurt you. It's still going to affect your credit report because you don't have the accounts that you need. And for example, if you have a great account, let's just go back to a trucking company, because that's one of the companies that we've been seeing lately a lot. So let's just say you have a service company that you may have a contract for $20,000, and you use this account on the monthly basis. And it's a service company that you use for your trucking company. And again, it's an expense for you. If they don't report that to the credit bureau, and then let's just say the highest credit card amount that you have had was $5,000, but they don't report this $20,000, and just next month you need an investment into your company that is for about $23,000, and they don't report that $20,000, that may hurt your ability from getting that $23,000 credit line or business credit card or credit line increase, you name it. So my goal for you to know today is to make sure that you get your credit report, your business credit report. And remember, there's 4 bureaus out there. There's the main 3, and there's the extra one, which is they have Experian for small business, Equifax for small business, Dun & Bradstreet, as we all know, but also make sure that you're working on your credit safe. I'm sorry, I was going to say Equifax again. Credit safe. So this 4 is what I call the 4 legs foundation of your business credit. Now, if you ever trying to get a loan from a bank, I would say always try to prepare a loan proposal. Now, you may tell me, oh, but I never had to do that in the past. When I submit for a loan and the person on side never had to do that. Yes, I get it. Remember, the bank is seeing you as a business. This is what we have to do every once in a while, especially when you go for a loan. You need to have a business plan. A loan proposal for a business loan or for a vehicle loan needs to be detailed. You need to actually talk about what you are going to use this vehicle for within the business. What is the service that the vehicle is going to serve the company, and how you going to implement the revenue from this goods or whatever you're trying to get. Sometimes, depending on how much you are looking to spend on these vehicles, and again, we're talking about how do you get a vehicle with your business credit, you may have to provide or supply a collateral. So keep that in mind, depending on who you're working with. Okay. At the end, I'm going to tell you one of the best banks that we have that will help you or will work with you to get a credit business loan for a vehicle. I'm sorry, kind of lost myself there for a minute. All right, guys. So let's talk about to compare loan rates and terms. One of the main things that I tell you, no matter who you're working with, if you're working with us, you're working with another company, always compare. Always do your due diligence, educate yourself. Make sure that you're working with a person that is actually working with you. That, you know what, one of the things that I want to make sure is that if you're working with a loan broker or a company that's helping you and working with your credit, make sure that they educate you on every term that goes around with comparing the loan terms. Now, you need to look at the commercial lenders and compare based on the rate and the terms that they offer. Now, the terms we're talking about is the length of time. Sometimes the rate is good. Sometimes you get a better rate with a longer term. Sometimes you get a higher rate with a shorter term. So you need to work on those things. You see what's best for you, depending on your cash flow, how much you think you'll be able to afford. Usually, the best banks that I will advise you to go with are credit unions. They are a great place to start in comparison. And sometimes when you have this information, then you are able to negotiate with other banks. If you have a regional bank that is trying to give you a higher rate, but you have a credit union that's giving you a lower rate, and you want to work with them, you have a good relationship, then you could bring that to them. Sometimes they will match it. Sometimes they won't. But it's good for you to actually gain an understanding of how to be able to compare them. Okay. All right. So let's talk about now, how do you choose the best lenders? So once you actually compare, once you work with them, you could choose to narrow the list of lender. I would say three to four within the best rates and the terms. This going to require you to actually do an extra homework. This is going to require you to not only do some legwork, and that's what we want you to do. Why? Because I want you to educate yourself in what you need to do, especially for a business loan or a vehicle loan in this case. Now, one of the things you need to keep in mind is too that a lot of companies or a lot of lenders will ask you to provide documentation. Documentation could be anything with your business information, your articles of incorporations, EIN. One of the main things that you are going to see, they're going to require you to provide some documents, meaning bank statements, at least for the 3 to 6 months. They want to make sure that you have some stability in what you've been getting paid, what you've been having paid for the past 3 to 6 months. They need to make sure that you have at least what we call a low five credit rating. So low five credit rating is at least $10,000 in your bank account that's been funneled over the past 90 days. Now, once you do all of this and they provide everything, then when you complete your loan application, I mean, you need to follow all the terms in the business application. Here's where you usually involve filing out and signing the application forms and making sure that everything is smooth and kosher. But keep this in mind. Always read the fine print. There are a lot of loan officers over there that don't work with you. So if you are going to actually work with somebody, like I said before, do your due diligence. Find out the ratings. Find out what they've done in the past. Find out who they work with. Make sure that if you are going to work with someone that is not a first party, meaning you're not going directly to the lender, make sure that you do some legwork. Because we've seen a lot of people that, predatory lending, shark loans that we see out there. So guys, please do your diligence, and especially if you're trying to get a vehicle for your business, it's fairly easy. But as long as you take the steps necessary in order to become a business or create the corporate lending that we always talk about. And once you do that, then hey, accept the loan. This is something that is definitely going to help you out. I mean, less than 20% of the business are able to do this. Why? Because those are the 20% of the business that do the legwork, educate themselves in order to create the corporate credit, the business lending that they need in order to even get a fleet of vehicles or even a vehicle for the their own operations. Now, you can find lenders that are willing to grant you all auto loans without collateral. Now, if you offer collateral, the lender may offer you more attractive rates. So keep that in mind. This is something that's going to happen at the beginning of your business if you don't have much credit. So if you have some type of collateral, you know that the vehicle is really for your business. It's not something, a purchase that you're trying to buy and funnel it through your business, which is fine as long as you use it for business purposes. That's another tax write-off. But if you do, just keep in mind that depending on the age of your business, you may have to put some collateral up front. Now, guys, this is a great option for you to not only build your business credit, but also alleviate some of the pressure of what you may have on your personal credit. Keep in mind too that any purchases that you have done in the past with your personal credit, business credit cards, you can transfer them, you can pay them. Those are tax write-off. That's part of your business. Now, guys, I wanted to bring this to you. Fairly quick class today. I appreciate. I mean, we're still going to be touching on a lot of other subjects as they come in. Some of the topics that you may send us in. But thank you for your time, guys. My name is Carlos Estrada Vega. I am the Credit Assassin. Do not forget that the link for you to get your free business success scan is going to be in the bottom of this video. But at the same time, if you like this, make sure you comment, let us know how we did, how we can improve this training that we're going to be bringing to you every week, every Friday at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But give us some topics, things that you guys want to know. We do our own research too. We make sure that we bring the best thing that we can offer you. But at the same time, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Click on that bell icon so that you won't miss any of our content that we put out, and give us a thumbs up. That's definitely going to help us out. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and we'll see you very soon.